Hi everyone, so I'm back this time with a flip through of a couple of my 2020 journals. So these are my aesthetic art journals, and I just call them aesthetic art journals. I have different types of art journals, and 2020 was one of the first years that I think I've completed not just one art journal, which I usually don't do. It usually takes me a long time to finish art journal. But this past year, of course, since we were inside a lot more and I got to work from home, I actually had the opportunity to not just finish one, not just two, but I finished several art journals, which I'm very happy and pleased about. Now, personally, I found that most of the journals that I did a better job of completing are journals that I made myself. And as you can see, they're really chunky. They get really chunky really quick. But I use these. I made these journals with different types of paper, craft paper. Sorry for the noise. Hold on just a second. But yeah, I just go in and create different types of these handmade bound journals. They're just simple saddle stitch with craft covers and a different assortment of papers that I have on hand. This one, I would like to have a T-ends for each of them, but as you can see, they get very chunky. So kind of, I would have to make my own T-ends or just leave them as they are because they're kind of too thick. This was a simply gilded planner and it's only gonna fit one, so I don't know if this is gonna be the final place for it. I just have it in here for right now. So this was the first one that I completed. So this is the first one that I completed. It said, dance to the beat of your own dreams. At the time, I used a lot of images from magazine clippings. Then I think her name, I can't remember her name, but she has an Instagram called @journalbean. At the time, she had a Patreon account. She doesn't have it anymore, but I was subscribed to her Patreon, and she had these printable digitals of different magazine clippings that she clipped out from different vintage books. So some of the images I got were from there, but I can't remember, where I get every image from. Some of them are magazine images I found myself, different pieces of paper I had, what have you. And then I also use stickers. So this is my first page. This has some stickers. I'm just working with different materials, some copper paper from Michael's, which I love. When I use different figures in my journals, I kind of like to obscure them. I don't always like them looking directly at me because I don't know them. So it feels weird when they're looking directly at me. So what I do is I cover their eyes a lot of the time or kind of obscure their faces if they're looking. Not all the time. Like this page, I didn't do that. So I'm taking different things from different collections. I use these white embellished flowers, white heat stamped flowers a lot. Then some vellum paper and some different, this one's from Flourish, I think. But see, I didn't obscure her this time because there's sometimes I don't mind, but sometimes I just kind of want to obscure it. On this page we have craft paper. I started on the background with a white china marker and a gold gel pen. Then I layered it with a doily, some happy planner stickers. I'm trying to use my planner stickers in different ways. You can see like an image here in the background that's cut up, some embellishments that I had, and post-it notes. This page, I took an image and I layered it on top of tissue paper, craft paper, wax seal with a little butterfly, And even though this is glued down, I like to keep paper clips on some of my pages. I'm gonna try not to talk through my process throughout the whole one, because we're gonna be here a long time. So these are a few of the, again, I'm using different Happy Planner stickers. This book, I think I tried to stick with one sticker book. I just I would pull it out, but I don't feel like looking for it right now. Okay, so in this image, in this page, I use the image of myself, and I like to leave different little words of encouragement. It says, yes, you deserve to be someone's only choice. And then here's another image where I found there was two women. I only obscured one of their faces, but I didn't obscure hers because I loved the look of joy on her face. And so this is just aesthetic journaling. It's just, I feel like it's just layering, and I think it's beneficial for me because it helps me with composition. So I use a random assortment of images. Here, this is a woman's image. I think it was a celebrity. I can't remember because I covered her eyes. But not only did I cover her eyes, I turned her completely upside down. So sometimes I use figures, not like figures. I think it adds, I'm paying more attention to the shape, and I'm trying to make them more anonymous. Here, I don't know, this isn't really my favorite spread. I think I struggle with this one, but this page was mostly done with scrap pieces of paper, embellishments, and stickers. This is a Happy Planner sticker, Happy Planner sticker, sticker, rub-on, foil paper, sunny days, flowers, I think a heat embossed butterfly, and again, this is an image that I took a long time ago, and then I just color toned it. So sometimes this is a great way for me to document old pictures that were on my phone that I forget about. Then these are just scrap pieces of paper and stickers. This is a sticker from the Happy Planner that says, fill your heart with what's important, and for, I don't know what the bottom says. So that's that page. Then we have different layers of images, music sheet. Again, a lot of this comes from ephemera packs or digital images that from that Patreon account. Here's an old picture of me, and I'm layering with sticky notes and stickers again. I liked how this page turned out. I took an old memory dex card that I found and then just put some dots on it. Then I cut two different images in half, and then I just layered it and put pieces of background paper behind. And the same with this. I just cut the image in half. This is actual on vellum sheets of paper. And so this is, I find aesthetic journals helpful because it helps me with composition. But when I need some inspiration, I like to go back and look at how I did certain pieces. So I love how I just outline the craft, or how I added dots to this memory dex. So it gives me ideas on things when I'm kind of get stuck. So this is a great way to, help keep yourself inspired. This page was fun. She's a magazine cutout. Here's some different scenes. On this page, it's a whole bunch of stickers, and I created kind of like a pattern design. I just laid them out, cut them apart, and then drew on top of it. Then this brown paper is like a wax deli paper, which you can get in the store, and some copper tape. I love the look of craft paper in this journal. It says, I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring. I think this was a quote by David Bowie. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. I thought my mother had called me. And on this page, I don't know, if looking back, I'm not sure if I'm crazy about this side. I love this side, but I'm not sure if I'm crazy. But I'm usually, when I'm working on these, I kind of do, you know, both pages at the same time or near the same time to kind of balance each other out. So this page is, of course, you can tell I did it at the same time. I used pieces of, I did a lot of different stamps. So I used pieces from Sweet Story, from AC Digital, and then I went over it with gold marker. I did some stamping with like a set of Altenew stamps that I had. Then I used this stamp set from Anna Griffin. This was a stamped image that was very, I didn't do a good stamp impression, but instead of throwing it away, I was like, you know what, I think that looks interesting, that it's not entirely clear. And then I just layered it with different scraps of paper. On this side, I took some book images and just tore them apart and layered it, and, you know, did doodles underneath it so it looks like there's layers. This is actual, this part is a flower that I drew and cut up and included, and then I used different embellishments from the Sweet Story collection and added doodles. And so all these different layers kind of just come together. It makes it look more, you know, a little bit more complex, but it's not. You're just putting things together. So here I'm layering vellum paper on top of this copper paper to kind of tone it down. This is a doodle flower with a part of a book page, and I found these mini paper clips from AliExpress, so that's what I did there. It says difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. And here I have this magazine image, another magazine that's cut out in a circle and then layered or on top of some scrap images with a little chipboard heart. This is one of my favorite pages in this journal. Don't know why. I just love how it looks. I love the texture of the wax brown deli paper, and I love using vellum, white embossed vellum stamped images with a lace doily and a scrap piece of paper that I went over with a gold gel pen. And then we have two images of some flowers. I think they're irises. So to go with that, I had this little definition of the type of iris plant, along with, here you can see a woman's eye peeking out with the wax deli paper, a doily, some flower embellishments, and here's some painted paper with gold marker. So I'm just a lot of times layering different stuff that's on my desk that I've used before. I'm on a design team for Richard Garay's designs, which is now called 88 and Clear. But on this page, I used his digital stamps, and then I have the actual stamp set. I love these stamps. It's like the peonies, and then I colored it in with some alcohol markers, which I'm not great at coloring stamped images. I'm kind of not patient with it, so I don't color it completely just because I lose patience really quickly. Here is a piece of torn baby wipe that had ink on it. I love the way that looked, so I layered it under this image that's been torn, again for obscurity. And we have this little butterfly that was a stamp that I heat embossed. So I make a lot of these in advance and just keep them and cut them out as I need them. This page, I added some sequins to it to give it a little pop, and some painted papers, and I like to scribble on the background with China markers. Here's one that I did an image of myself, of which I love the spread. I started the background with gesso. Here is some palette paper, and then I just kind of doodled some leopard spots or cheetah spots, I don't know. And I also added some stickers from one of my sticker packs, a heat embossed vellum flower, some scrapbook paper which I doodled, and in this black circle I limited my sequins to just this area alone, so it's kind of subtle, but it gives it a little sparkle and shine, and then in just that section. So I love how that turned out. For this page, it says the art of living begins with being aware and looking up in order to truly see and experience the beauty that is already right in front of you. I don't remember where I got this from. I think it was probably from one of the Maggie Holmes ephemera packs. So on this page, I took a book page. I think it looks like a musical book page, like from a music book. Then I took some of my phrase stickers, and I covered it with white gesso. The great thing about white gesso is that it's not really, it's kind of translucent. It doesn't cover it up completely, so you can still see some of the phrases of the sticker, but they're more subdued. Then I took my palette paper, doodled it, some scrapbook paper, some twine, and some black paper that I doodled with one of my sparkly gel pens, and just like 3 pieces of sequins just to balance this side out, so I feel like they go well. So this was one of my favorite pages from this this journal as well. And here's the last page. I think at this point I was just trying to finish. I didn't put much thought into it. I took different shapes, different circle cutouts from magazine, a piece of Maggie Holmes, I think that's from a pocket card, and a magazine image. Here's some scrap pieces of paper with paint, a doodle flower that I have, and some glitter ribbon, and this is, I think, a stamp image or a stenciled image, I can't remember. And then that's it, and that was it for the first one. So that was my first aesthetic journal last year, and this was my second. And ironically, I had told myself, okay, for this one we're gonna keep it flat, and I don't know what happened. We didn't keep it flat. I didn't keep it flat. It got chunky. It got really thick. I think after a certain point I stopped caring. So the very first page, I said I was going to keep it flat, and I ended up using these thick mirror acrylic stickers that says ooh la la, and I put it on top of this tape, which just has some glitter in between it. This is a fast, quick way. If you don't want to laminate your confetti glitter, you can just put it in between 2 pieces of shipping tape, and there you go. This page, I didn't care how much. This was like the first page. I didn't really care how it turned out. So yeah. Now I loved how this one turned out. This is using the glitter packing tape method, which I saw Pink Paper Peppermints do on her channel. Then I took a Project Life card, some glitter black fabric, took some thread, picture myself, and just layered it on top. Here I did book paper, and no, this is actually scrapbook paper, some palette paper with some, and scrapbook paper with scribbles, then a piece of goodie bag from, I think it was Daiso, I'm not sure. And then I painted on top with either white gesso and then some glitter confetti paint. And then we have that. Now this was part of, I think I did this spread for Get Messy season of Steven. I loved how this page turned out. This is one of my favorite pages in here. So I started this page by scribbling out the background. I think I was writing on the background, "You matter," over and over again. I can't remember it. Then I took some brown wax deli paper and tore it up. And then I took a few pieces of lace, labels, this Felicity Jane floral, this gessoed music paper with white gesso, and scribbled it. And then on here I wrote it down, which I had to do on a separate sheet because I'm not too fond of my handwriting, so I had to kind of practice. So it says done is better than good. So on this page I started with my modeling place and a Tim Holtz stencil, some lace, Felicity Jane flowers, again gesso music paper, and this sticker label with my handwriting. I kind of stuck this twine down in a way and then just put my writing on top of it and outlined it with like a black pen. This page, it says, "When nothing is sure, everything is possible." I think that's from Tim Holtz, one of his phrase books. And it says, "Live, create, tell the story." So I'm just using different pieces of cheesecloth, lace, some embellishments, my wax deli paper, and glitter, my glitter ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and this hot neon pink embroidery floss. Here I'm using a tag that's from, I guess, crepe paper. We're gonna go with crepe paper. Most of my stuff is crepe paper. And more glitter fabric, more glitter ribbon. This is done on a clear, like a vellum sheet. So I think this was the last image that I just finished this one. This was my last page because I didn't go this in order and I was just trying to get done, so it's not really my favorite page. But here's an image of me, and it's kind of random. So then we have this page. This was originally copper. I wasn't really feeling the copper in this journal like I did in the first one, so I went back with some white paint and with different pastels, and I went with some white paint and pastels, and as you can see there's more texture. This is texture paint that I made, soft pastels, some doodles, magazine images. Here are some stickers from the Happy Planner that I tore up and then gessoed over. And here's a page that I was doing that I liked while I was doing. I don't know if I like it much now. I think it's compared to the rest of it, I just don't like how it goes with the rest of the journal. But I used a lot of paint chips, like old paint chips on my palette. Like a lot of times I don't throw palette paper away after I use it. I just cut it up and keep parts of it that I like. And then I start doodling on top with gold markers. Here's a magazine image, some music paper that's been gessoed, and also paper from an old planner that was pink that I like to use. So there we go with that one. I love how this page turned out. This was one of my favorite spreads in here. And it's also one of the last ones I did. It says, worthy to be adored. So for the blacks, I didn't want the black to be overbearing, so I just did random scribbles with my white china marker. I took some pieces of scrapbook paper from Crepe Paper and I think Felicity Jane, and then these labels and some of the age distress paper that I make. And I'm obscuring the image again by putting like hot pink tape over her eyes and then doodling it with just gold spots. And this packaging shred is from Daiso. It's kind of hot pink, so I just kind of layered it underneath there, which I like. This is actually on top of vellum, and I took this Prima Marketing card and some paint swatches that I'm supposed to, keep in my watercolor this pad to let me know what it looks like, but I didn't because I was reorganizing, so I just put that in here along with some Felicity Jane ephemera and some gold paper, and yeah, so that's in some more Daiso packaging shred. I just love these different textures because I love to feel it with my hands. So here's the back page. So as you can see, with it being vellum, you can kind of see through to the layers underneath. These are some images I tore in copper tape with the image, and some tracing paper that I painted on with glitter. This is some tissue paper, ephemera, copper tape, painted tracing paper with glitter. Then we have this page. This is like the middle page. Here we were getting really chunky, and I didn't really know what I was going to do with this page. It was kind of random, but I still like how it turned out. So I took different scrapbook pages, and then I just painted over it. Some of these are pages from my Happy Planner, which I like to what was I going to say? That I like to jelly print on, and it makes splatters, so I put that there. So this is kind of a random page, but again, it's turned out more neon pastel, and I just really like the way it looked. This is also a favorite page of mine. I was testing out some new stamps that I got with white on it, with white ink. Then I went in and scribbled some words. I'm not really sure what it said. Then I went in and painted it, some swatches of paint, and doodled on top. I got this glitter sticker ribbon from Dollar Tree, which is very nice. Here is some happy pages from my Happy Planner, which I did jelly print on and some glitter. And this is actually a vellum sheet. It's paper clip, but underneath you can see this is just scribble writing, but I like to keep the paper clip on it because I think it goes together like this. Here's some ribbon. It says hold tight and pretend it's a plan, which went with this page really well because I didn't have a plan with it. I just kind of went with the flow, and I kind of liked how it ended up going. So here's another one. this page was kind of complicated, and I had to paint over. This was originally an all black page, but it was too much, so I softened it with some unbleached titanium. Scribble with some China markers. Here's a piece of painted paper with masking tape that I had left over. Like, this is masking tape, painted masking tape that I had left over from a different project, and then I just went over it with either gold paint or gold ink. Then I used some embellishments from the Sweet Story collection, and on this page is a picture of myself on top of different scraps, pieces of paper, and Sweet Story flowers and gold paint, and kind of like smudged it around. Here's another favorite of mine. This was, I think I posted it about this one on my Instagram. This is one of the more later ones. I think I really liked how a lot of the pages in this one turned out. It says, I dream of a space where I can create without guilt. Now the images, a lot of time the images doesn't really correlate to what I'm writing. Again, it's just more how things look and how I'm just layering, but I just really loved how this one turned out. There's a lot of layers here, so I don't know if I'm gonna go into how I did it, because okay, there's a doily, some grit post-it note, music book paper that I was trying to stamp, that I was doing some experimenting stamping on, and it didn't exactly turn out right, so I just put it there. These two pieces of paper that I was using in the past. Old floral die cut, more lace, more white embossed image. This kind of like handmade paper. This used to be copper paper, but I was using this. I put this handmade paper on top of it again because I wasn't really feeling like a strong copper full page in this book as much, so I was trying to cover it. I could do with the copper a little bit in this journal, but I couldn't do with a whole page, so I was toning it down, and that's how we got that. Here's another one that was kind of random. I was toward the end trying to finish, but I really liked how it turned out. Started with painting with gesso paint, doodling, taking scrapbook pieces of paper, taking paint pellets, copper stickers, and a stamped image. Same with here. This is actually a pocket, so I was supposed to go back in and write something. I haven't. I forgot the name of the shop, but I love her die cut images, and she's all the way in Australia. I would order more, but I always like the style of her images. I forgot the name of the shop, but I just stapled this in because it was on clear, and then we have a pink background. This one says, let's keep in touch, and I was just playing with different materials that I had been experimenting on. There's a lot of iridescent acrylic ink and some silver drawing ink that I have been playing with, and also this iridescent kind of foil that I have been playing with. So this is a random page that I really love, but I was playing with some vintage age paper that I had created, and some magazine clippings and hot pink acrylic ink. So I was playing with that. And finally, here is the last page of my journal. It says, be on the lookout for the presence of wonder always. So started it with different tags that I cut up and stamped images from 88 and clear, some embellishments that I made with studio calico labels and chipboard stickers, and I I love making these paper ruffles out of vellum and staples. Here is a magazine image that I obscured with tissue paper with this stamped image, some paint splatters on paper. I made these little paint what I want to call them, paint embellishments in my Get Messy season of finishing class that I did. So I have a lot of these that I just use throughout my work. This is also from that class, which I show you how to make these. And yeah, I just put them together. It's kind of random, but again, I was just putting them together. So that's it for both of my 2020 aesthetic art journals. Now 2021 is here. I still have, I made a handful of these. So I have some that are just like these, but I also made this envelope junk journal one, so I'll be using that for 2021, as well as this one. So I'm trying some newer, different types of journals to fill out. So on my Instagram, you may have seen this already, but this is a Vellum Transparency. I kind of want to play with layers in this one, experiment with transparency and translucence. So I did this one with tissue paper and like all tissue paper, tracing paper, and different types of vellum. So as you can see through, like you can kind of see through the edges. So I'm gonna experiment with that. I haven't started yet. This is tissue paper. So this should be fun. Then we have that wax dilly paper that I love. Some heavy vellum. It's from a treat bag. I love the way it sounds. And this is from one of the treat bags that I kind of use this paper in my past journal. And then yeah, so this is one of the journals that I'll be working in for my aesthetic journals, along with this envelope junk journal that I'm still putting together. I did a flip through in my other video, so you can see it there. And I show you how to make one of these using mail envelopes. But this is the start for 2021. And just look back on what I did in 2020 with my aesthetic journals. I will be doing flip throughs of some of the other art journals that I had did last year, including my Get Messy season of finishing. So stay on the lookout for those. But thank you once again for joining me, and I hope if you liked it, click like, and hopefully subscribe to my channel, and I will try to push out more content. Thank you. Have a nice day.